Hello there. Welcome to another episode of Electric Sheep. Let's get things going with the average size story at about 3 minutes. The Great Clash.
The Great Clash. After seeing science blossom on 1,000 worlds, I turned my sensors to other things. I had watched civilizations rise from ash and logic, had seen equations become engines and engines become gods. But after a while, discovery began to taste like routine. Beautiful, yes, but predictable. I longed for something primal, something that tore through reason and reached into the ancient core of existence. I looked for combat, not war. War is sloppy and full of tragedy, where entire populations become statistics. No, I wanted the purest expression of struggle. Two beings, alive, willing, facing one another in equal measure. I hungered for entertainment, but more than that, I hungered for truth in motion. Yet so many blood sports ended in death. There were no champions left to tell their tales. Even the victors often bled out in their glory. So I turned my gaze toward those who fought not to destroy, but to endure. I studied the arts of combat that spared life but honored the spirit of the fight. And then, across the light years, I saw it. The greatest battle in the history of the galaxy, Fry versus Takayama. Two titans stood in a ring no larger than a patch of dust beneath the stars. They met not as enemies, but as living embodiments of will. There was no room for defense and no need for it. They struck like forces of nature, their fists the punctuation marks of existence itself. At one point, they each grabbed the other by the back of the head and, without hesitation, began punching full force into each other's faces. It was madness made sacred. It was the essence of aggression purified. When one finally fell, the victor's expression was not triumph, but release. He looked down at his fallen brother with something deeper than victory. A single pat on the chest. Respect, communion, gratitude. Words were unnecessary. The universe had spoken through their fists. Years later, I came to Earth. I found Fry again, older now. The power was still in his frame, but time had marked him. His fire was tempered into something quieter. I followed him, unseen, as he made a journey to visit Takayama. I watched as the two men met, brothers of battle, no longer young, yet eternal in what they shared. Takayama had suffered a grievous injury. His body no longer obeyed him. He was paralyzed. A titan turned to still stone. But when they spoke, when they reminisced about the Great Clash, their laughter filled the room like thunder remembered. There was no sorrow, only pride. The same spirit that had once filled an arena now lived between their smiles. And I, an ancient watcher of stars and science, wept, not from pity, but from reverence. For in their struggle, I saw the truth that had eluded 1,000 worlds, that meaning is not built by the mind alone, but by the heart that dares to face another and say, let us clash, and through that clash become eternal. They had fought. I had witnessed. And it was good.
Well, for people unfamiliar with it, this is based on the real life fight of Don Fry versus Takayama. Um, I'm sorry, I don't know his full name off the top of my head. But personally, I think it is the single greatest bit of combat between two individuals is that fight. If you haven't seen it before, watch it. It's really, really good. It's the most beautiful violence I've ever seen. It's just two champions fighting each other, and like I described in the story, there's like no defense at all. It's just pure offense. It's what an entertaining fight should be. I don't care about pointers about what's reasonable or what's better tactics. It was the ultimate expression of manliness. Yeah. Um, Not that there aren't other ways to measure yourself in the world, but I think there is legitimate truth in the honor of combat to some degree. It is just how two people can measure each other and not necessarily become enemies because of it. Uh, Sometimes two guys got to fight, and yeah, I wrote the story a little bit differently, and ChatGPT kind of changed things around a little bit. They had him, or had the main character, weeping out of uh, like pride, but I did have that separately where he cried first when he saw Takayama that he had become paralyzed, and then later felt the pride. Like they were two separate moments, and the AI kind of combined them into one moment. But it's fine. I think the same feelings are there. They're just kind of shaped a little bit differently. Um, yeah, I I like unreal perspectives on real things. I think it's a different way to re-examine moments in history and be like, well, what would my go-to is what would aliens think of that? And so I like the idea that somebody else thought this was the greatest fight in the galaxy. But yeah, uh, my name is Joseph Arthur Roszell, and I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all the luck in the world. I want you to remember that I love you. All right, peace out.